the agenda in the chat.
And we're live from the Content Creators Toastmasters Club in San Jose, California. That's the live.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, we have people coming in. Actually, you know what, Jim? I'm also going to make you a co-host. So if
sure, and I can try to manage the waiting room too.
Yeah, and I do have it set so I think people have to register in order to get this thing. So I think we're gonna be better off that way. So if you can handle that, I will get the link to the agenda. Hi, Delal, nice to see you. I'm going to put the agenda in the chat if I can get that to pop up. There we go. And we will be, and is it Shavit? Welcome.
It's Shaveen?
Shaveen.
Yeah, thank you.
How did you find us? Where are you from?
I can't remember if I was searching on Meetup, but it's just through Meetup. I'm close to Denver.
Denver. Well, welcome. Are you in a different time zone than West Coast?
I'm an hour ahead of you.
Ahead. All right.
We've got at least a 4 time zone meeting then.
Yes.
We've got Western, Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern time at least.
Yes.
Now we need a lady from Japan to join us.
Yeah, welcome. So we do have a guest, and I don't know if are we ready, Francisco? Are you ready and to start soon?
Yes, of course.
And actually, before we start, maybe if you can take a look. Thank you, Jim, for putting the link in the chat. For some reason, my cursor wasn't clicking into the right place, I guess. But would anybody like to take a role? We do have, does anybody have a content creation tip that they want to share? It could be quick, it could be simple, it could be just a reminder. I think, Delal, you have one?
In progress.
Okay. And then, word of the day, grammarian. Anybody want to count? Oh, we don't have, didn't put a word of the day today. But maybe we'll do grammarian and awe counter. Does anybody want to count our filler words? That could be helpful for us. And I don't know if, Delal, can I have you do that role?
Which one?
The awe counter.
Sounds good.
Okay. And if you're not familiar with the Toastmasters roles, then you can just kind of watch how it works this time, and then next time we would love for you to jump in, and we'll kind of introduce our roles. But I was not expecting Monique to come in, but this is a surprise. We have Monique. She is one of the official members of this club. Welcome, Monique. I didn't expect to see her this week. All right. And with that, I think we can get started. So I am going to, I think, Francisco are you recording live already?
Yes.
Okay, you are recording live.
I am recording too.
I am also, oh wait, it is recording. Yes, we are recording. So, officially, welcome. Today is August 1st, 2024. This is our 3rd official meeting as a Content Creators Toastmasters Club. So, welcome everybody. We are so honored that you are here. Here at Content Creators, we decided that we wanted to start this club because it is our belief that each and every single one of us have an important message to share with the world. And as we were talking, I was getting to know Francisco. You're going to meet him today. He just reminded me that Toastmasters is just a big playground. I think sometimes as adults we forget the importance of fun, and last week our word was tomfoolery. So we have to remember that we need that fun and that play in our life. And Toastmasters is a great place where we have this playground. It's like a public speaking playground where we can test out ideas and we can try out new things, and we don't have to worry about being perfect. We can make mistakes, and we're here to give each other feedback. We're all here just to learn and to grow professionally and personally as people. So welcome everyone. My name is Jenna. It's short for Genevieve. So my name is Jenna Picata. I am the president of this club, and thank you for being here. And I'm also taking on the role as Toastmaster. So I had a really, really busy week this week. I got sick earlier. I was at a work conference, and I had a full day of training at work. So I totally, at the last minute, put this agenda together, and usually I'm thoughtful about the word of the day, but that didn't happen. So we're going to skip the word of the day, and I'm going to open it up for any content creation celebration. So anybody on this meeting, have you put any thought into something, a piece of content that you want to create, or have you actually published something in this last week? I'm going to open it up. You can feel free to type in the chat or unmute yourself, and we would love to celebrate you. Lireva.
Yes, so I would like to share something, Gina, and this. Let me take my choose background. How to avoid background? Okay, no background. So one of our meetings last time we talked about the reactions, how we can make our meetings more fun, right? And I started playing with it. And look at that! Now I am a pro of doing this, so I can use it in my Zoom. I update my Zoom LinkedIn, and now I know how to do effects. And this makes very fun things, and it makes those meetings more fun. So I encourage everyone. I am learning, right? I remember the things here, the signals. Look at that. It's in fun. So yeah, I will share the information how to get this one, but I believe it's fun. Yes, Jim, try it. But first you need to update your Zoom account and also your Mac. I will send you the link for everyone to do that. Thank you. Back to you, Jenna.
Thank you. That is an awesome tip. We did learn that at one of our past meetings, and you actually did some research into it. I have to figure that out because I think that is so fun, and that brings the fun and excitement to our meetings. So thank you for that. Is there anybody else? Any other content creators who published anything? Monique?
I didn't publish anything, but I did create a slideshow of my vacation with my best friend. That's the first time you ever doing something like that. And it turned out perfect. So I will share it on the TikTok site, and you guys get to see, because I'm going to put my name inside the chat. Follow.
Yes. And what I didn't say is Lareva is our VP of public relations, and she put in the chat a bunch of links to our meetup, our website, our LinkedIn. So please follow us on LinkedIn or join the meetup and post the things that you're creating, because that is going to just show to the world that we're not just keeping everything within our club, but we're doing it here, and we're actually living what this club really is all about. So, I mean, in the short time that I've gotten to know those of you who've been coming to these meetings, like, I can already see this growth, and it's incredible. So kudos to you, Monique, for doing that. Anything else that we should celebrate?
I can share one. Yeah, so I do a lot of short form video content, so it's primarily like Instagram Reels, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. But I've been trying to do like more long form YouTube videos and exploring that. So I did publish like my first vlog, maybe it was like 2 weeks ago at this point, so it's been a while. But yeah, I tried doing that, and like performance-wise, it's like not doing great. But I think it's like a step in the right direction to just kind of like practice my long-form videos that are like 10 minutes long or something like that. So yeah, that's my piece to share.
Yay, I love it. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? I don't want to leave anybody out in this meeting. Okay. Dalal, I see you.
All right, I'll do one. I would say I shared a more vulnerable video on social media the last week, and I wasn't sure how that territory was gonna feel like. But I'm glad I stepped into it. I really am. So that's my win for the week.
That is very brave. You know, I think the reason why I always struggled with social media is because I always was afraid of what people would think, right? And I think what I've learned is, as I become more confident in who I am, and you realize that, you know, like, we all can really speak our truth. And really doesn't matter what everybody out there says, because we're not going to please everyone, right? So speak your truth. And I'm glad that you feel the courage and bravery to put that out there in the world, because I think that's what we all need to do. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That was a very great lesson and a reminder for all of us. And me especially, because I'm trying to do a little bit more of that. All right. With that, going once, going twice. If you think of anything, you can always just put it in the chat, and we would love to celebrate you. I am going to turn it over to Dalal for a quick content creation tip before we get into our meeting functionary. So everybody, let's welcome Dalal.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for that welcome, Gina. My tip for the week is off of everybody's energy in the room. Play and let loose. My content creation tip of the week. Have fun, enjoy yourself, and let loose on the grips of expectations, detach from the outcome, and let's just show more of who we really are out there. You know, you're a beautiful person, layered person. You're unique to who you are, and the world gets to experience you in that way. So my tip is play and let loose. Thank you, and back to you.
I love that. Yes. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm a makerspace training coordinator, and that's kind of what I do. Is I do a lot of creative things. And what I'm finding in this year, because I do creative things all the time, and I'm teaching people about the importance of play and fun and creativity, like, I'm coming up with more ideas. It's giving me the space and freedom to dream up new things. So that is such a great tip and a great reminder. Thank you, Dalal. And we are going to get into our meeting functionaries. So for those of you who might not be familiar with Toastmasters, I'm going to call on people who have roles, and they're going to explain what their role is And then at the end of the meeting, we'll go back to those meeting functionaries and they'll give us a report in the end. So, Lereba, can you explain to us what your role is as the general evaluator?
Yes, thank you. So my role tonight as a general evaluator is to provide a constructive overview of our meeting. I will be looking for moments of brilliance, areas for growth, and overall meeting dynamics. Together, let's celebrate our successes and identify opportunities for improvement. Remember, every speech, every role is a step forward on our journey to become better communicators and leaders. And something else that I love to use this phrase: the goal is not to be perfect by then. The goal is to be better tomorrow. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Yay! That has to be the best introduction for the general evaluation role that I've ever heard. So kudos to you, Lereba. That was awesome. Now we actually have our guest, Francisco. He's not only going to be giving a speech, he's also going to take that speech and then transition us over to table topics. You don't have to tell us everything, but can you just give us a little idea of what table topics is all about for those who may not know?
Yes, thank you, Jenna. Table topics, some will argue, is why we're called Toastmasters, because in the format of a minimum of 1 minute, if you're competing, it's going to take at least 1 minute, and I encourage anyone to do it for 1 minute, and I assume this club allows for people to ask a question or maybe talk about something else. That's kind of a tradition. You can shift it, but the bottom line about table topics is to be able to put together coherent and cogent thoughts. Again, usually in the middle of certain situations. We always talk about the elevator pitch. A table topic is like that. From a minute to a minute and a half to 2 minutes, tell us with enthusiasm and passion about the answer to the question, or like I said, if you feel a little inhibited, go ahead and shift it a little. Ask the question again, or ask another question. Take it to where you want to take it for that minute. The joy is for you to say, oh, I spoke for a minute, and these people heard my message in that minute. One would argue that's a valuable skill to develop today, to be able to convey content in a minute. Madam Toastmaster.
Yay! Thank you, Francisco. Now, I would love to introduce Jim, who will be our timer. Can you let us know what your role is as timer?
Absolutely. I really like Francisco's last line there about conveying valuable content in some time limits. And today I'll be helping us take a step forward by watching the clocks for you. All of our... Thanks for the great view of your screen, Francisco. All of our speeches and table topics and evaluations tonight have a time range. I think Francisco said he's going to be a 5 to 7 minute speech. The table topics will be 1 to 2, and the evaluations typically 2 to 3. So what I will do is I've got these nifty screen backgrounds. When you get to the minimum time, you'll see a green screen, a yellow when you're at the middle of your time range, red when you're at the end, and that's kind of your signal to wrap things up. The goal is to keep you on time and therefore keeps the meeting on time. And that's how we'll take a step forward together today.
All right. Thank you, Jim, for stepping up as timer today. Now, Monique, I was going to ask, do you mind being the grammarian for this meeting? Are you okay with that? So as a grammarian, if you could just look for, if we have any glaring misuse of the English language, you can point those things out. But also, the way that I love grammarian is if you hear any really great phrases, then if you can point those out, then that's another really great use of the grammarian. So is it okay if I fill you in that role? No? Okay. Does anybody want to take that role? Okay. Well, maybe I have my notebook. I will jot some things down if I hear some things. Jim, I see your hand.
If you need somebody to do it, that's better than nobody. So.
Okay. Yay. So.
And as you said, I'll keep an ear out for especially good or questionable grammar, and we'll point out some of those at the end in terms of phrases that worked well. If we needed a word of the day, I threw a suggestion in the chat earlier. Let's just use tomfoolery again. That was such a fun one. maybe we can bear repeating it.
All right. Okay. I can
I'll
pull
listen
up.
for that too.
Yes. You put that in the chat?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll find the definition. I'll put it in the agenda. And last but not least, we have our awe counter. Dalal, can you come back in and let us know what your role is as the awe counter?
Yes, I will be the counter for today, and I don't know if any of you have ever been asked to speak, and all of a sudden you're saying, and you find yourself trailing on and on. That's what I'm here for. I get to keep an ear out for the filler words that are used when we talk throughout the meeting, and I give my report at the end, and it kind of helps you bring an awareness to yourself when you speak, when you're using those filler words. So that'll be my role for today, and I will give my report at the end. And back to you, Gina.
Thank you. All right. Without further ado, I would love to introduce our special guest. He is not only a content creator, he's also a Toastmaster, so I love that he has the intersection between both of those. And his content creation medium is podcasting, and he has a podcast called Journaling Journey. And I see we have one more guest coming in, and I actually texted this person because I know he's also a podcaster. So I am, or aspiring maybe, I'm not sure if he started, but I would love to welcome everybody. Let's give a big round of applause for Francisco Jose Palacios.
Thank you everybody. I'm going to start my timer here. Oh, my Zoom cat is here too. Journaling Journey. Once upon a time, namely 2020, I was given a great opportunity to go back to school. Specifically, I was able to get started with my master's degree. I had already gotten my bachelor's from an online institution. So when at work, we had this visit from what was then Ashford University, now University of Arizona Global Campus. I said, sign me up. At that moment, the degree that I chose was Instructional Design Technology. And as things started to develop through 2020, and as I mentioned to Jenna and Lireva when we started, the clubs that I've attended here at District 40, I'm in southeastern Indiana, almost equidistant, same distance from Louisville to Cincinnati on the Ohio River. So I attend meetings in District 40. Once upon a time, somebody called me the remover of excuses at a TLI because I had driven an hour and a half to attend a meeting. But that's how Toastmasters can be for those of you that really, really want to do it. At that time, we're talking 2017, 2018, all of these online tools were really experimental. And we experimented. These are the days, again, when allow online attendance and playing with Zoom started to surface. The District 40 helped us charter a hybrid club. It was an amazing journey at that time. Fast forward to today. I have a prop that I like to show because I don't know how many of you get excited with this tool, which by now I filled it up with a bunch of infinity signs because it doesn't end, you know. Roll, camera, take, it's infinity. And I ended up calling it Journaling Journey because I was trying to convey, okay, what is it that I want to do? And I realized Francisco, wants to journal, which is what I've been doing with social media. By now, that's my rationale, my excuse, my reason of being. For that, I'm going to switch camera, 1 second here, and I'm going to also share my screen. And I have 2 Google Chromes, one with the agenda, and the one with the story. Go back to Facebook, starts putting out business pages. This is my business page, okay? And we were talking before about new things that we have done. Oh, sorry, this is LinkedIn, Facebook. And what have we done recently? One of the cool things is that I was helped by a lot of people in LinkedIn and Facebook to do lives. So this is a live I did at, I don't know how many of you are into aviation. It's called Oshkosh. That's the museum for the Experimental Aircraft Association. And I was doing lives. That's one thing that I'm enjoying now. It's putting together these lives. You need to have a good signal. They have good Wi-Fi at Oshkosh. So I was able to go around places and take this very short. This is just a minute 16. You're just trying to tell people, hey, I was here. That's why to me journaling is so important. I did another one. See, airplanes. This one coincidentally, the official interview was taking place, so I stopped talking and I switched it over to the interview. So I grabbed about a minute of it, and here's another one. Okay, that's what I've been doing recently. All of it again comes from school. Here's my portfolio website. Some people in my class were like, "Why we need to put things on LinkedIn?" And I'm saying, yes, use LinkedIn because I was found on LinkedIn for the position that I have now after I got my master's. So, where does this end up at also? Because the original idea from the journaling journey was to teach and encourage, hey, hit the record button. It's going to give you an audio file and a video file. Here are my video files. I've started repurposing them, taking the audio file and syncing it up with the podcast. Okay? So I'm new at podcasting, but I've been doing YouTube for a while. I mean, there is a lot of videos in here, it's cool, etc., that I'm planning to relaunch, if you will, and repurpose. Thank you, Jim. The story about the journaling journey and what we're gonna do today, I have one episode here that is called What is Journaling to You? We ended up, not only did I do the speech, but I interviewed the members of the club at that time. I ended up with a great 27 minutes of people talking about journaling. And, you know, all the questions are here. The podcast nowadays, it doesn't show it here. This is the back end. The podcast comes with a transcript. So I'm yellow. And finally, as Lireva just shared, this is where I would say, in my opinion, most of the content I wanted to end up here, because at the end of the day, LinkedIn is where we, I would say, promote ourselves. This is where you have your portfolio. I went to art school, so this is my professional portfolio here on LinkedIn. So I wanted to show you this. I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to switch the camera. Go back to this one. And yeah, I'm wearing the big 100-year pins. I love the BPPR roll because of that. Toastmaster does running like nobody else. Okay. So, I'm going to switch hats. Thank you, Jim. And now, open it up to the club. as I said before when I was starting explaining my role as Table Topics Master, which is what I'm doing right now, I'm going to ask everybody the same question. Those of you who are new to Toastmasters, did you know that you can actually compete in Table Topics contest? I think it's the best contest to try first because it's spontaneous and it's short. If you want to go ahead and do your international or humorous speech, great. But Table Topics contests are awesome because you see the structure of the contest, but you only need to talk for 2 to 3 minutes at the most. Yeah, I think 2 to 3 minutes, it's the most that you can. So again, try to do it for a minute. Go up to 3. You'll see Jim telling us whether or not we're doing it right. And the question that I'm going to ask the group right now, and I'm going to extrapolate from that question that I asked before and perhaps invite you to listen to that podcast episode. What is journaling to you? Again, the question is, what is journaling to you? Maybe I want to call on somebody, or if you want to go ahead and jump in, that's fine. The question again, and I'm going to put it here on the chat. What is journaling to you?
So I think kind of documenting what your emotions, feelings, about anything, right, is probably comes in journaling. It could be you're doing your like personal diary, or it could be you're doing for your work, or you could be doing for your profession. So everything can come under it. So so I think that's what probably journaling as per me.
Thank you, Kapil. Appreciate it. That gets us going. I agree with you. I do IT. I'm a business analyst, and trust me, half the time I'm journaling the progress of the projects and the implementations. Anybody else? What is journaling to you?
I can go if no one else would like to go.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah. So in terms of journaling to me, when you first asked that question, I was thinking more along the lines of just like pencil and paper. When I was a kid, I would always like have a diary, and I would keep track of, I don't know, how my day went, like who pissed me off, or what really great thing happened to me. So I would usually document it that way. But as I got older, I feel like I resonated more with photography and video, and I really liked doing more digital media. So it kind of translated. I started documenting my life more so, and like the images that I took, or maybe I went to the beach one day and I saw these really cool seashells, or random things like the waves and stuff like that. So I started capturing snapshots of my life, I guess you could say, through photography. And then as I got into video, I feel like that was another way of documenting and capturing my life as well, because I could capture little snippets, especially with short form video. You can kind of flash a bunch of things at people at once, so you're getting a little bit of a highlight reel of their day. On one hand, I think you can really glamorize your life, and I think a lot of influencers or other content creators portray a really idealized version of their lives that may not be so accurate. But sometimes when you're just consuming it, it's really fun to see, and you're wow, they went to that park, or they went to a hike there, or they ate at this really tasty restaurant. So I think to be journaling can be a lot of different things. It started out as more of the pencil and paper, but now it's translated more to a digital medium for me. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. I love your answer. Mostly because I think with all this technology that we have today, definitely the ability to, I call them photo essays, we can call them video essays. Either way, I don't know if anybody has watched it. Rachel, you brought up short form, long form videos and all that. I just watched this documentary from Jim Henson on Disney Channel, Idea Man. I was so inspired because, again, I went to school for animation. It's not what I do for a living, but, you learn stuff. And he did a lot of it. And when he was hired by Sesame Street, They hired him because he was doing a lot of experimental videos. So, I think your answer echoes that. So anybody else wants to jump in and tell us what is journaling to you?
I can take it, Francisco.
Please.
Something that I started, I have been journaling for years, but something new that I started already this year in January was to use journaling to reprogram my brain. So I read from one strategic coach that if I write every morning 3 wins from yesterday and 3 wins to program for today, for my day, it will help my brain to think for the wins that I had yesterday and the wins that I want to do today. So I have been doing for that for already, well, now it's August, right? For more than 6 months. And after 4 months, I could see my brain was just every time thinking in three wins. And I wrote down that one. So 3 wins from yesterday, I was writing down, I was celebrating, and I was programming my day for the 3 wins that I will have that day. And something magical happened. The 3 wins that I was programming my day for that day, I did it. And the same every time. So it gets better and better, and my brain goes like that. So now, even I go that night to bed, and guess what? I am thinking of the 3 wins that I had for that day. So that is a way that it has been helping me to reprogram my brain, because before a night, I used to think, oh, I didn't do this, didn't do that, done. And I wasn't sleeping well. And this time, this is magical. I was really sleeping well, thinking of my wins, and already knew that I was thinking, oh, the 3 wins for today will be this, and this, and go to sleep. Done. So thank you so much. This is how I use now my journaling. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Lireva. Thank you so much. It's truly to me the potential, if you will, of journaling in terms of how it can be used. Again, it's very free form. When you think about it, as somebody already brought up, you can use it at work to document, or like you're saying, you're trying to tell your brain, hey, let's focus, because our attention is so fragmented nowadays. There's no tomfoolery to try to bring things down to where we can handle them. Another topic I may elaborate someday, way back in the early 70s, yes, I'm that old, and you can find it on YouTube, narrated by Orson Welles. There was a book by Alvin Toffler named Future Shock, and he talks about, this is based on Moore's law, every 18 months processing power doubles, that we would be overwhelmed by now. So for you to talk about the therapeutic effects of journaling is something else that drives me. Anybody else has their view on journaling that they want to share tonight?
Your hand's up, Monique. Does that mean you want to go next?
Yes. Yeah, my thoughts for journaling for me is an interpersonal relationship. Regardless of anything I involve with, whether I'm in entertainment here, whether I'm at work, journaling for me is an interpersonal relationship where I get to see my thoughts, my feelings, my perception, my assumptions, whatever it is, on a piece of paper, or, like Francisco said, device. So my device comes in 3 times a day and gives me a notification it's time to journal. It actually gives me the opportunity to stop exactly what I'm doing, which is another form of meditation. I didn't know that, did you? To stop exactly what I'm doing, put in there what's on my mind right at that moment, and let it go. The last time my time for journal is the night, like an hour before I go to bed, and it gives me 5 minutes tops just to write down my reflection and how I handle any situation, what I got involved with. And like Liv said, it actually puts you at rest. It gets your body prepared for rejuvenated sleep. And I'm telling you, it is no tomfoolery. So, thank you for that one.
Great, thank you, Monique. So I'm a little bit over, but Dalal and Kyoson, come on, bring it home. You're the last two. Go ahead. What's journaling to you, Dalal and Kyoson?
All right. Journaling to me is close to the title of your podcasting. It's a journey. I started journaling when I was in my teens. We had a little journal with the lock, or when I was in my younger, years without the lock, when people can get into your journal. But now it's really evolved as I've evolved. Sometimes I write a sentence, other times I write paragraphs, and it allows me to connect to the flow of life, that intrinsic nature of how things are. Sometimes you're going to jot down a whole lot of things, and other times it's just a trickle of words. But it's all part of the flow of life, part of the flow of you, who you are, your state of being, getting to put that into a different form of expression. And that's what journaling to me is seeing myself expressed in a multitude of ways around me. And that's how I feel about life and this creativity process, is seeing myself expressed in a multitude of ways. So journaling is one of those ways. Thank you for that question.
Thank you for that answer. Kyoson, and it seems like, oh, there's Jim. Okay, he's back. I was looking for him and the timer. Go ahead, Kyoson.
Yeah, thank you. I think I can resonate with pretty much everybody's perspective. It's somewhat also related to me, and what I want to add on is, like, self-journaling for me is a discipline in a certain extent, because it's not easy, and sometimes easy, and sometimes really difficult. And it's how you grind through those days that you don't feel like you have to do. So if you learn the discipline, if you master it, that application is pretty much very versatile in every aspect of domain of your life, in professionally, self-development as well. And also, journaling can be an exploration of yourself. Like you could even, for me, I could even say it's exploration of your subconscious. Like you don't even know sometimes what are you going to put out there. Like, hey, I just want to do something. I just want to put some journaling, like some sentences and some paragraph, and you don't have any like a centric idea about what you should be putting there, but you just try it. And then along the way, when you're doing that, like something whimsical might just like bubble up on the surface of your brain, right? And then you just do something, and then you follow those lines, and then it eventually leads to a certain area you have never thought of, and that is a really exciting adventure somehow. So that will be for me, discipline, and also exploration of yourself. And could be like when you combine the two together, is finding the connection between you and the outer world.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, I'm gonna change this angle and hand this back over. I checked the agenda. I believe you are next, right, Eva? General Evaluator?
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much, Francisco. And now, as a general evaluator, I have a team that will help me with this task. So I would like to ask, let me see, I have here the agenda. First, to invite our time, actually, let me see here. As for reports, and one of the persons that I will ask, I would like to invite Jim to provide his report as a timer. Jim?
Absolutely. Just to double check, we don't have a speech evaluator this evening?
It seems that no, it's time.
Okay, if we're going to skip it for lack of time, that's fine. wanted to make sure if we had one, I got them a time as well. Our speaker tonight, Francisco, you did such a smooth job switching from your speech into table topics that by the time I realized you were about to get into table topics and stop the timer, we were up to 8 minutes and 17 seconds. So I think you might have been a little over with the speech in chief anyway, but that's where we ended up when I finally realized you had divided over into table topics. Table topics responses did very well on time tonight. Kapil, if this was your first time, you got to 34 seconds. Not bad for a first try. Rachel, 1 minute 31. Ava, 2 minutes and 6 seconds, so still within the grace period. Monique, 1 minute 42. Dalal, 1 minute 11. And Kyosan, 1 minute 40. So everybody was on time or very close. Nice job.
Thank you so much, Jim, for that report. And also, as we know, Toastmasters, we wear different hats, and I know Jim are wearing a lot of hats tonight. So I think, Jim, you are also the word of the day and the grammarian.
Yes, I am. You want me to just deal with those right away? Happy to do that too. Well, we had some nice tomfoolery tonight. We even had a couple of people use it. I caught it once from Francisco and once from Monique. Nice job using that fun word. I don't know if mine counts, but it's just a fun word to use. As for grammar, I didn't really catch anything that registered as questionable to me. I did hear a phrase that I did really like. Francisco has a nickname. He is the remover of excuses. We can all use somebody like that in our world. Was really glad to hear him talking about Oshkosh. Were you up here last week for that?
The whole week, yes. Yes, I spent the whole week camping there, Jim.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you fly in?
No, I wish. Sometime. I'm working on my pilot license too, but I drove.
Okay. No, that's probably a good idea. So no Fisk arrival for you.
Someday.
I've never an airplane. I live about a mile or about an hour and a half away from there. So
Okay.
I've not been to the big show, but I've been to the museum a few times, and I've landed on 3-6 in Oshkosh.
There you. Oh, wow! Awesome.
So yeah, glad to hear another fellow aviation buff. And thank you. It's probably more than we needed for grammarian, but what the heck.
Thank you so much, Jim, for that report. And now I would like to invite our ad counter, Dalal. Dalal?
All right, y'all, I'm coming. All right, so for Francisco, I just had a few and, odd, and so. For Kapil, there was a few ors, one after the other. You used a few times. Loreva, you did really well in your speaking portion. I didn't really catch too many things. For myself, I definitely had a few odds and things up in there. So that is my report. And back to you, Loreva.
Thank you so much, Dalal, for that report. And I see your hand, Kapil. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, Reva, so like I joined this session like after a while, so I was just wanted to figure out, the last time I was joined, right, we were trying to figure out what's going to be the format of this meetings on going forward. So I was just curious if we have figured out what's the agenda, upcoming agendas, so I can prepare in advance before coming into the meeting. Yeah.
That is a great point, Gabriel. And at the end of the meeting, something like our club president does is to organize the agenda for the next week. So there, you can really raise your hand and take a role for the next meeting. So we will do that at the end of the meeting. Thank you for that comment. Okay, that's wonderful. So now we continue. In this case, I think I got all the reports, so thank you for that from my team. And I will give my evaluation. For that, I want to say one of the things that I see, let me start for him. I love the fact we have the content creator tip from Dalal. Thank you, Dalal, because you remind us the great thing, have fun. And that sets the tone. So thank you. That was a great point. And also, I love the fact that introducing the meeting functionaries, everyone introduced their role very clear, and that is important because we have guests. And for the guests, it's important to know what every functionary is doing. So that's a wonderful job, everyone. We don't have this time. Speech evaluator, but I would love to say something to Francisco. Francisco, thank you so much for being in this meeting and for your speech, because you know what you did with your speech? You show us the power of leverage. Leverage, because you are attending a club, you are doing a speech, and what you're doing, leveraging. You're posting on Facebook, LinkedIn, podcast, YouTube. What a wonderful example for a content creator. And I can say also, and something like they say, right, that the words, a picture is more valuable than the words, something like that.
It's worth 1,000 words.
In person, in video, I love that one. And I was looking at all your pages, all your things. That is a great point. It was very dynamic and very powerful, your speech. And as a Toastmaster, you also wear another hat, like was a table topics master. You made it simple and easy, and you engaged everyone with one question. What is journaling to you? Everyone wanted to say something about it, and it was very dynamic. I just love it. And what to say? Also, our Toastmasters of the day, Jenna. Thank you so much. Always saying with wonderful tone to this meeting. Great energy, welcoming the guest, and setting the tone for the meeting. And thanks to you, with everyone is aware with your vision of creating this club, we're getting here and we're doing our best. So thank you. You have been done a great job as always. And that's it. Thanks everyone. It has been a great meeting. So back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Lereva. That was a great evaluation. And I really want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Francisco for that amazing, Jim said it correctly, when that seamless transition that you made. Well, you did a lot of really seamless transitions. So as an aspiring content creator, that was really great for me to see how, you started on camera just as you were, then you switched views so we could actually see a little bit more of your setup with your computer and everything else. And then from there, you even transitioned into table topics. And, I'm in another club, and I actually, for the first time, I just posed 2 different questions that people could answer for table topics. But I never even thought that just posing one question for table topics could be so powerful. And I think what I learned from that is that the value of diverse perspectives. And I think I think that's what's beautiful about a meeting like this. That's what's beautiful about table topics, is that, we can have a starting point, and then we can hear somebody else's perspective, and then you can see people building off of it. And by the time that we got to Kyosun's table topics, he was using such great words. I had this written down where he said something about something whimsical might bubble up. I'm like, whoa, that is so great, because I feel like that's what happened during that evolution of table topics, just by posing one question. So for me, I mean, this lesson in just creativity and thinking of this in table topics as a playground, as a place for us to practice tomfoolery and throw out ideas. This is how we grow. So I really want to thank each and every one of you for being here and sticking it out. It's almost 6:30. I know that we have until 6:45, but I don't want to keep people here unnecessarily. I also do want to say that if you do love these meetings, we're really trying to just build off of this. And we would love for you to join as a member. You are welcome to come as a guest. You're welcome to come and practice table topics because there's value in table topics all the time, right? And there's value in us bringing in these really wonderful, great guest speakers. Lereva, kudos to you for connecting on LinkedIn and finding Francisco, because, you know, you just brought so much value just to this meeting today. So come as a guest, and if you want to join as a member, the value of becoming a member is what we're going to start to do, and what you'll start to see in some of our meetings is we're going to be giving more and more prepared speeches. And so becoming a member will give you access to the Toastmasters curriculum. And so it kind of guides you through an evolution of things that you need to learn to build on your prepared speaking abilities. And there's curriculum that you can follow. So if you want access to that piece of it, if you know anybody else who might benefit from this type of club, please spread the message about this. And actually, before we go, I would love to open it up to feedback from any of our guests. Like, what were your thoughts about this meeting? Did you like it? Are there things that we can improve on? Because that's also the value of Toastmasters, is we really value feedback, because if we don't get that feedback, we can't improve. So I'll open it up to any of you.
I thought it was a really well organized meeting. I think this was my second time attending, so I think the first time I attended, it was like a week where there wasn't as many people and there wasn't necessarily a speaker, so it was really awesome to have like Francisco speak and just kind of learn a little bit more. I am part of another Toastmasters group, but not like content creators focused, so I thought this was really cool because it's kind of the intersection of some of the interests that I have, which is both Toastmasters, but then also specifically content creation. So it's a super unique approach and a super cool club that I definitely want to think about joining. Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for coming back. Any other feedback, Kapil? I will do our best to try and schedule out as much as we can. I mean, Lereva did it. We have a guest speaker next week. Lereva, do you know information about that person? Maybe you can give us a preview of who that person is, and that can give us an idea.
Yes, it's someone like also is a content creator and is well known in the digital world. I will give more information later, but also I want to let you know I met her on LinkedIn too, and I have chatting with her, and she has a lot of insights, and I am so sure that as her background in IT and digital content creator, she will provide a very fun, insightful insight, very useful information for us. Thank you, Gina. Back to you.
Gina, I have a feedback.
Yes.
Give it or take it. So basically, I think we talked very in the beginning, right? I'm trying to do a leadership podcast, with my company folks, right? So I was thinking, if we can set up, if we can give opportunities to some of us, right? Like, for example, I would do a podcast, to one of the person, who is in this group, and then other people in the audience, right, can give their feedback, right, for like 10 minutes, maybe just like, 10 minutes of conversation, right? And they can give that feedback, like this is something you can, do better. And I mean, if there are other folks like trying to do the similar thing, they can also, use this as a practice platform to capture the feedbacks, because that's the most difficult thing to get, right? The feedbacks, and we are here to help everyone, right? So if we can use this as a platform, I think, other than inviting, guests like Francisco and, other folks, so that would, I think, would be a great help to me, and I feel for the others. Yeah.
Yes. And thank you for saying that, because I think one of our other really powerful things that we've done in one of our meetings is we've done a round robin evaluation.
Okay.
So we've had, for example, I gave a speech one time, and then people signed up for giving an evaluation of that speech, but from different lenses.
Yeah.
And that, as a content creator, is super valuable, because you're not only getting diverse perspectives, but different people are looking at different aspects for you. And so we can customize that together, right? You can actually choose certain categories. So for example, I want feedback on clarity. I want feedback on just the different aspects. We can help you customize that so that you can tailor that specific type of feedback that you need. Francisco.
Jenna, definitely to answer Scapil's question, round robin evaluations, I just want to add exactly like you said. I saw that format for the very first time, Capil. It was a gentleman that went all the way to win district. And at that time, I was very active in District 40, and I saw him first at our club. He was a guest speaker. Then I went to the area where he won, and I saw the speech morph. That was the best part. It was the same speech, but you could see how he integrated the feedback all the way to district when he won. And for him to take all that input, as you said it, that's the valuable thing about Toastmasters, and one of the reasons why we have so many corporate clubs. Giving feedback is not easy, and like everything else, it's a skill that requires practice. So thanks for asking, and thanks for requesting that, because definitely it's a key component of what we do.
Right. And in the podcast, right, it's sometimes like, the other person also has to talk, right? So you're not getting judged just by your talking, but the way you're engaging the other person. You have to make the other person interesting also, right? Otherwise, the audience is going to lose the interest. It's because there are two individuals, right, which people are watching. So I was thinking, like, if we have two people, right, talking, one is like interviewing the other person, and then engaging the other person also as a host. And then you guys can give the feedback on how the host is also engaging the guest. So I was trying to say on those lines, if we can give that opportunity to me or, some of the folks. Yeah.
I love that. And we could also do it in a way, if we didn't want to do it as a prepared speech, if you wanted, we've also kind of played around with the idea as table topics being an opportunity for, if you're the table topics master, you can treat that as, asking questions that you want to ask for your own personal podcast. Test it out with us, right? And see how we respond. And maybe we can even open it up to like a back and forth, so you can actually have a conversation going and extend it. But I think that we can create new possibilities for this club.
Perfect.
And that's what we're here for. In this club, we're all about tomfoolery and dreaming and playing and just coming up with new things that are really gonna help push our thinking together, like forward, because that's what we're all about. Monique, you have something?
And on that note,
yes.
On a serious note, no tomfoolery. With any idea that we bring, for those that do bring these ideas, will be very valuable if you be consistent with us, bringing and starting that idea, so others can also implement what you're really talking about. Because it's good for us to have the conversation, but the action speaks louder than our words. So we can have everybody come in with great ideas, but if there's no commitment, what the young man right here said, Kyosson. I'm not going to mess your name up. That's why I'm spelling it out. He said discipline. I was not supposed to be here tonight because I already made it mandated I come every other night. But my dedication and discipline of being a part of this meeting is very important. So with that being said, when I have an opportunity to be here, even though I'm not supposed to be, I'm coming. I'm coming. You know, the information that is given in these rooms is vital, not only for my own personal, but I want to be a creative content. I want to be a content creator. I want to give out what Gina was given from day one, sharing her journey and bringing this together. You know, so I really believe the commitment and dedication and the discipline to this one right here is very important for me. So I'm just saying that's a feedback for me.
Right. And so on that note, Kapil, will you be here next week? And if you would like, I can put you down for table topics, and then you can ask questions.
Yes, I would love to do that. You know, I have a meeting, you know, like with my leader very soon. So I'm like all excited, you know. I just let me know, like, you know, I mean, I can choose the agenda, or like you want me to give the agenda for the questions, just let me know.
Okay. I'm going to put you down for table topics next week. Anybody else going to be around next week and want to sign up for Toastmasters? Any of the rules that we saw today? We're trying to rotate Toastmaster. Anybody want to pick up Toastmaster? Francisco? Yes. All right. I love this. Okay. So.
Whatever role makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I was Toastmaster last week, so I'm glad to see it get rotated around a little more, but I'll take whatever we end up needing.
Yes.
I can be a speech evaluator.
Want to be a speech? Okay. Yes, I know. Francisco, I apologize. I should have set a speech evaluator for you today, but I'm glad that Ledeva said something because yes. But you did an awesome job.
Gina,
We did. We're creating awesome content. Together.
And now we have a new member, Francisco, Gina. He said that he is going to join us.
Yes. All right. We are going to grow this. You all are filling my bucket, and really, like, I know I'm busy. I'm really busy. But I always really want to make space for this club, just because it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I think we've really found a good group of people, and this is just going to help push our creativity and innovation forward. So that's why I'm here. That's why I show up as much as possible. Dalal.
I just want to say I do really love this club. Like, even the process of getting it together, piecing it together, I've learned so much about myself, so much about it, you know, experimenting in this process, so much about cutting loose. And I've gotten so much insight, and I got to meet so many cool people in just such a short period of time from all walks of life. So I love that you took okay. I love that we're sitting in the manifestation of a thought that you had, you know, and you're like, you put that out there and now it's generated. So it shows us the power of putting out your ideas and seeing them flourish into something. Like, this is expanding before our eyes. So I love that. I think it's really cool. And I love that word of the day, discipline. Has been tagging my butt all week. So y'all telling me something. Okay, thank you.
Francisco.
Part of the conversation with Lireva, and I don't know how many of you are planning to do it virtually. I mean, you're in California. Who else is going to the convention in this month?
Oh.
It's online. It's only $100.
I may attend online. I may attend online. I'll see. Yeah.
Do you have information about it? Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah, sure. Let me find it. I'll put it in the chat. Thank you.
And can I say something like,
Yes.
So like I've been joining, after a long time, and then probably I just talked to Gina, and I've seen Jim in another other Toastmaster club. Meeting you guys all first time, but I'm feeling very positive. Like I'm feeling like it's so much positive energy coming from all of you. So like really, feeling energized, back joining this club. So really happy. Just wanted to express that feeling,
This is what we wanted. We want to capture this energy and just keep finding people who are into it and then celebrate.
It's
Celebrate.
always good to seize the moment.
And continue with that. Let's take a picture for our websites, our
Yes.
but listen, just a moment. You know those effects, whatever effects you know how to put, yes, whatever. Let's do it at the same time, like that. I can take the screenshot. So let me see. Dun, dun, dun. 1 second. I will start. Let me try to do it fast. 1, 2, 3. Again, we will try again. Let's do it at the same time, everyone. We can time it. Great. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I hope I get it, everyone. It's not. It's okay. Thank you so much for that.
Yay. And with that, I don't want to take up more time than we said we would. So thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful night and rest of the week and have an amazing weekend. I hope you fill it with tomfoolery and new ideas. So hope to see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
See ya.
Bye.
Have a
Save
good
the chat. Save the chat. Bye. Save the chat.
Oh, yes.
Save the chat. Bye.
Bye.
And I think it got saved to the cloud. So good thing I had my backup here. And yeah. So that's a new club, and yeah, I signed up. Hello, content creators. And we stop here.